I've been testing the SafePal X1 for some time now, and I'm ready to give you the breakdown on its features, security, user experience, the pros and cons, all of it. So let's get into it. Welcome back to my channel. I'm OJ, crypto analyst and investor for 10 years, and I've reviewed every top hardware wallet on the market here on this channel. So let's take a deeper look at this X1 model by SafePal. It's a brand that I've been following for years, but somehow I waited quite a while before I got to do this review. You probably know SafePal from their S1, the credit card sized thing that is totally air-gapped. The X1 here is kind of like its rebellious younger sibling. Why? Well, it's decided to embrace Bluetooth. Well, I know, Bluetooth and crypto security in the same sentence used to make me sweat, but hear me out. So what's it look like? Well, basically, imagine a slightly chunkier, more button-heavy version of the S1. It's got this 1.8-inch black and white screen, nothing fancy, but it's clear and does the job. This also keeps it on the lower price range. It is actually under $70, so it's one of the cheapest cold wallets out there. And it has a full 12-button layout, including a little D-pad. Honestly, it feels a bit more intuitive for typing and everything in navigating menus compared to some other wallets that make you feel like you are playing a game of Twister with your thumbs. It's still super portable though, and it easily fits in my pocket, and it's pretty solid, very lightweight, which is very important for me. I'm traveling all the time. If you are traveling, you know you always want to have small and light things to carry around, and I do travel with several wallets, and I travel 9 months of the year. I mean, right now in the summer I'm in Europe, in the winters I'm usually in Asia or South America, so I like to travel with at least 4 or 5 different wallets where I spread around all my different cryptos and everything, and they have to be lightweight. So I do have chunkier devices that I keep here in this house, or some of them are in my flat in London, and then I travel with the very light devices like this one here. It is the weight of a credit card. I mean, my crypto.com credit card, which is metal, is heavier than this device, which is great, and it fits in your pocket inconspicuously. Nobody can know that you are carrying it with you. And also something that I do a lot is to sync 2 or 3 different devices with the same account, so that I would have one device staying here in this house, another device staying in my London flat, and the third device traveling with me. And this right now is exactly that. This will be my travel companion for accounts that I already have 2 other devices into different locations. So this will be the one that I take for travel. Ideal. You don't have to do that, but it's something that I do. I'm reviewing wallets all the time, so over the years I have accumulated quite a lot of devices. At this point I'm using more than 12 devices, but as I said, usually 2 or 3 of them get linked to the same account, so I don't really have different accounts, different seed phrases and different passwords and everything for each device. I do have different pins, but the seed phrase, usually 2 or 3 devices would go with the same seed phrase. And this is another thing that's very important here. I would mention it later again, but with this device, with Bitcoin, you actually have a choice between all of the Bitcoin formats. That's Legacy, SegWit, Nested SegWit, Taproot. All of these are featured here, so you can choose what format to use if you're a more advanced user. If you're not an advanced user and you don't know what this means, then just stick to default. The good thing about having several devices using the same account is that if you lose one of them, you can still access everything on another device, and if you're worried about someone, stealing your funds, you can use that other device to quickly move the funds into a completely new wallet. It's not very likely that someone will be able to hack into your device. These devices are really robust in terms of security, but it is the case that sometimes people actually keep their pins and things together with the device, and in that case, they don't have to actually hack it. They can, if they steal it and it's from your house and you left any other data that is related to the device close to it, then it's very likely that they will have access. So definitely seed phrase, PIN, passphrases, everything needs to be stored separately from the device, and make sure to secure your seed phrase, because many times people neglect that this is more important than the device itself. This is how, with the seed phrase, is how you can sync different devices to the same accounts. This is also how, if you lose it or it malfunctions or something, you can migrate to another device and still access all of your accounts, all of your capital and everything that you were protecting with this device. And that also goes for any other hardware wallet. You can migrate from another older hardware wallet to this device, and you will do that with the seed phrase. So seed phrase, more important than this. I say that every time, hopefully by now you already know. Make sure to store it safely. Do not just store it on paper. Ideally, get a metal card. In my next video, I'm gonna go through all of the metal cards that I'm currently using. There are quite a few new ones that I added because I keep adding wallets and everything. So at this point, I'm using at least 4 or 5 different brands. They're all very good. It doesn't matter which one you choose, and pretty much every hardware wallet brand also has a product that is to secure your seed phrase. Whatever it is, whatever you choose, if you use a metal plate, it's not going to be damaged by water or fires. And these are the two biggest dangers for keeping your seed phrase on a piece of paper. And while I'm on the topic of security, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the Bluetooth connectivity. Is that a bad thing? Well, the OG SafePal S1 was all about being air-gapped, meaning no physical connections, no Bluetooth, just scanning QR codes. Super secure, but sometimes a bit of a fluff for quick transactions. This is always the case with air-gapped devices, and I do like them, but only for long-term storage. If I want to make transactions more frequently, I need something easier to handle, and the X1 goes for that kind of convenience. But before you freak out and think how hackers are going to be stealing your Bitcoin through Bluetooth or anything, SafePal really leaned into the security side of things. They're not just like, hey, let's turn on Bluetooth and hope for the best. Now, they've got some serious tech under the hood. First off, when you connect your phone up to the X1, this is how you navigate the device. They do this securely using something called ECDH. It's like a special handshake to confirm that both devices are legit, genuine. And then all the actual data, like signing transactions, is encrypted with AES. Think of it like sending secret messages in a super strong code that only your phone and this device know how to crack. Plus, and this is a big plus, the X1 is open source. This is huge. It means the code for a lot of its key operations is out there for anyone to look at and scrutinize. So it's not just SafePal saying trust us. It's the whole crypto community that can poke around and make sure there are no hidden backdoors or sneaky vulnerabilities. That transparency really builds confidence. And under this fairly unassuming exterior, the X1 is packed with security features. It's got a CCEAL5 Plus secured element chip. And if that sounds like a jargon, just know that it's like a tiny super fortified vault where your private keys are being stored. These chips are designed to resist all sorts of physical attacks, from probing to voltage glitches. Your private keys literally never leave this chip. And this is the same chip that Ledger is using, the same chip that Tangem and the OneKey. I mean, these chips are in most of the devices these days, in most of the hardware wallet devices these days. It also has a true random number generator, super important for creating secure seeds and addresses and private keys. And get this, if someone tries to tamper with the device physically, trying a forced entry, like trying to pry it open, it's got anti-tampering self-destruct mechanism that will wipe out all the data. Pretty cool, right? I mean, if you're worried about losing your coins, no, you're not going to lose your coins, because the device itself is not holding the coins. The device is holding your private keys, and the private keys unlock the data, and your coins are actually on the blockchain of the relevant blockchain. So they're not really stored anywhere. They just exist, and you are accessing them via your private key. This is holding your private key. And that private key is protected by your seed phrase. So if this gets wiped out or damaged in any way, malfunctions, whatever, and you stop using it, you will be using that seed phrase to import it into another device. It could be the same one, it could be a completely different device, a completely different brand even. and then you will be able to access all of your accounts. Okay, so what can it actually hold? Well, they do have support for all the major blockchains. In fact, over 200 blockchains are supported, and all of their tokens, unlimited number of tokens you can navigate and hold with this here. It is not like the old ledgers, Nano S or Nano X, where you actually had a limit of how many apps you can hold on the device. Therefore, you had a limit of how many networks and coins you can have at any one time. This is old news, nobody is doing that anymore. Here you will have private keys for every blockchain that you want to be using, and with these private keys you will be navigating all the tokens that are supported. So for instance, if you have Ethereum, as you know, there are hundreds of thousands actually of tokens on the Ethereum blockchain. With your Ethereum private key, you will be accessing all of these different tokens, and it's the same private key. You will notice when you are receiving coins that if you are receiving any Ethereum tokens, they all share the same address. This is what I'm talking about. So you do have a lot of support for different tokens, many different tokens. That's great interoperability, and you can even hold NFTs. So really versatile here. And one thing that I particularly like is that with Bitcoin, as I already mentioned, I can choose whether I want to use legacy SegWit, nested SegWit, or Taproot. Taproot, by the way, is the latest upgrade to Bitcoin, so it is the cheapest one, the fastest one, and arguably the most secure as well. So I'm definitely using Taproot here, but you don't have to, especially if you're migrating from another wallet that might be an older one. So if you still have Bitcoin sitting in a legacy wallet address and you try to migrate from it, you need to migrate to a device that supports legacy wallet addresses. Otherwise, it's not going to recognize them. The mobile phone app is very intuitive, easy to use, easy to navigate and everything, easy to connect to the device. I have no complaints about the phone app. I also like the fact that it gives me transaction history, very accurate. Many other phone apps don't really pull all of your transaction history. With this one, because I synced it on two different phones, I have the phone app on two different phones and I synced it here. On both of my devices, I was able to see the history of transactions receiving and outgoing as well. And as I said, that's not always the case. With Tangent, for instance, the mobile phone app still doesn't really display the history for all of the different blockchains. Some of them it does, but not all of them. One key, sometimes I actually have a big lag in the information. I have to refresh quite a few times until I actually get the latest data and everything loading up. With the SafePal app so far, everything's been quite instant and quick, which I really like. All right, and the price tag. Is it really worth it? Well, it's sitting at a pretty attractive $69.99 price range for what you're getting in terms of security features, open source transparency, and wide asset support. That's a really competitive price. It makes cold storage much more accessible for a lot of people, so use the link that I dropped in the description below to get yours. As I said, I really like the design, the fact that it's lightweight. I like that it's compact and easy to carry around. Also, it's easy to hide. It has a decent battery, although it's not the strongest one. It could be improved. It's not the most powerful battery, but then again, this is not something that you're using 24/7 or anything. So if you want to use it and the battery is flat, you can charge it for about 20 minutes, half an hour, something like that, and that will be enough. But also, once you charge it fully, it's going to take quite a few days before it runs out. It is a decent battery. I've had better. My OneKey Touch, for instance, has a much better battery, and some of my bigger devices obviously have a much better and solid battery. Some of them last for a year because I don't really use them very frequently, and then after a year I turn them on and they power up immediately. This is not going to be the case here. You will have to be charging it more frequently than that, but if you're using it a couple of times a week or something, then maybe you'll be charging it once a month or even less frequently. The bottom line is, if you're looking for a super secure, versatile, affordable hardware wallet that's actually pretty pleasant to use, this is definitely one to put on your radar. It's like having a bouncer for your crypto that's also helping you organize your portfolio. Pretty sweet deal, if you ask me. And if you're someone who's got a decent amount of crypto at this point and you're still using a software wallet on your phone or on your computer or exchanges, you really need to upgrade to a hardware wallet, guys. And the SafePal X1 is a fantastic option, especially given the price range. It really strikes as a nice balance between functionality, ease of use, price point. Perfect. And of course, it's open source, super secure, which is always a big benefit. The Bluetooth, as I said, is also very secure, so it's not very likely that you will be hacked via Bluetooth. Bluetooth also has quite a small range, so if someone is hacking you via Bluetooth, guys, they have to be around you. So again, it will be up to you how, what kind of precautions you take. It is much less likely for someone to hack you via Bluetooth and do any kind of damage to your transactions or the device via Bluetooth than it is for someone to actually steal it from you. So again, if you're going to be keeping it in your house or traveling with it, at least make sure that the password, PIN code, seed phrase, these things are not anywhere around it. They have to be stored entirely separately, ideally far from the physical location of the device, so that you avoid any chance of someone being able to use that device instead of you and then send all of your coins to someone else. Also, to help you decide whether it's the right one for you, I have a special free PDF ebook that I composed some time ago, and this review now is also going into that PDF. The link is in the description below. I reviewed all of the top hardware wallets. I explained all of their benefits and all of their features and security and everything, so you can actually compare and decide which is the ideal device for you. So make sure to grab that link also from the description below and have a look at this video as well, and I'm gonna see you there.